Here we have a Thunderbolt frame buggy ready to run, as you can see, made from a company called Nikko. Very interesting product, very well built. Came around 1986 based on what I can remember. Also want to point out that it is made in Japan, so it's known for Japanese product, very known for quality. I'll say it's a deluxe set, includes NiCad battery, charger, and requires 10 AA battery, which sounds like an odd number of batteries, but I'll go over that in a moment. So it runs on AM radio band, band 1, which is about 27 megahertz. Well, here you can see the date says 1986, so it's 35 years old. Very interesting. It comes in two different colors, either blue or yellow. I notice the box says blue here, but I got the yellow version. So it could be not, it's possible it's not the original box, or the body was changed. I'm not sure. Body very interesting. It has roll cage, which is very interesting, and a hard plastic body, quite thick. Here it is, the box open, and here's the radio, very beautiful AM radio, and uses 6 AA batteries, which is interesting because most radios will use either 4 or 8. This one uses 6 AA batteries. So here's the buggy. It's a 1/10 scale. You notice, so it came with these tires here. So one tire was really good condition, still soft, and the other one I had to peel it off because it was falling apart. It looks like maybe there was some oil residue or something, and it actually pretty much fell apart as you play around with it, and it's just not holding. So pretty much ripped it off easily, and I'm going to clean this up, probably put new tires. So here's the buggy. Now I'm going to take it out of the box, and here you go, the Thunderbolt made by Nikko. So very interesting. Kind of reminds me, I hate to compare to the Grasshopper, but I think the closest competitor would be the Tamiya Grasshopper for many reasons, as I'll go over in a moment. So it has 4 just regular friction damper. So it's 2 in the front and 2 in the back. However, I am missing 1 in the back. The front suspension arm is quite interesting. So it's kind of a trailing arm, and I must say it's pretty well designed. You don't get much of a camber or any toe in as much as again compared to the Grasshopper or the Hornet. So here's the was the front end, of course, and the back end. Looks very familiar to Tamiya Grasshopper. As you can see, I'm missing right here 1 shock. I have the upper part here, but the other one's missing. So it's not a screw, it's kind of like some type of a rivet or some type of system kind of pushes in. So this here, I'm probably going to put a screw in there and probably a shock from the Grasshopper. However, it's quite stiff. Like 1 shock, it does its job. So I use this 7.2 volt NiCad or nickel metal hydride, or I'm going to probably run it with 2S LiPo. So here's the Tamiya connector, or I believe it's a Molex connector. It comes with an RS540 motor. A little bit rusty in the shell here, probably from sitting around and maybe a humid environment. The gearbox looks very interesting. It looks, I wouldn't say it's the exactly same like Grasshopper, but it looks very similar. Perhaps some of the gears may fit, maybe. You know, if ever need replacement, maybe that's one way to go, is getting the Grasshopper gearbox. But I think it's pretty good. The motor has a cover, which is interesting right there. And it says here, don't touch, I guess because it gets pretty hot after a few minutes of run time. And I want to point out, so the battery goes sitting at the bottom there, and I will install a battery, and we're going to test it out. So I am charging a 7.2 volt NiCad right now, but I'm being a little bit impatient, so I'm going to do a 2S lithium polymer or LiPo battery. It gives about the same amount of voltage. I also want to point out that it requires 4 AA batteries here. Most modern RCs will not require that. The receiver servo would power off the main battery. However, this one here is to power the receiver and the servo. So now is for the real test to see if it's working and how well it works. First, as all AM radio back in the days, the sequence to start the car is the transmitter first, because you power this first and then the receiver second, so that it binds or finds this signal. If you don't do that, sometimes you get interference and the car can take off on you, especially a mechanical speed controller, where this one has an electronic. So I just raised the antenna. Antenna is relatively short for AM radio, so I don't expect the range to be all that much. And the antenna on the car receiver is also pretty short. It looks like it's been cut or broken part way, so I'm not sure how they're ranging, because they usually they're calibrated for a certain length of antenna. So if it's shorter than that, there's gonna be a range compromise. So now that the transmitter on, I'm gonna turn. There's a switch here. Turn this thing on. I don't hear anything. Oh, it's good. It's working. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of interference because I didn't hit the gas. So here's the steering servo. A little bit slow, but it is digital proportional, as you can see. Just so if you go really, so it is proportional to the movement. So it's very slow, as you can see. Now I'm going to try the throttle. Here it's spinning. It doesn't sound too fast. It's pretty smooth. Back here. Forward. There's forward. Back, forward, brake. Oh. So it doesn't seem to be brake. Go forward, back right away. Which there should be forward and then brake, but it goes forward and it goes slow. Alright. So I'm going to try a little test on the driveway here. I don't think it go too far. It doesn't seem to have that range. So here we go. So I'm getting a lot of interference here. The antenna is fully extended. I think the battery's fairly strong, but I can't really go too far. So it kind of stops right there. So I think just to get an idea of So here's what I mean by the antenna right here. So that's just the straw, and here's the antenna. So it's here's the length, and you can see the tip here. So probably can find another receiver guy kicking around and extend it or solder longer here, and then test it out. I suspect that's the problem, and but I don't expect to get much of a range from this radio anyways. Maybe say about 100 feet, but I'm gonna try it out and see if that works. And other than that, electronically it looks like everything is working, except the huge glitch here, which I can't even go down my driveway. I'd say the range right now I'm getting about 15 feet, if that, which is not good. All right, once again, thanks for watching.